Hello, we are Team D, and this is our project, Social Networking/Healthcare, a hospital information system and radiology information system interface. I'm now going to take you on a quick walkthrough of our final UI prototype. When you first enter our system, you're presented with a login screen. From here, you may enter a username and password and log in. If by chance you have forgotten your password, we have an option for forgot password. We do not have the option on here to create an account. This is something that was mentioned on the discussion boards, and we do not want the possibility of anybody off the street coming in and entering a random computer terminal and creating an account and being able to access this database system. It would be against security protocols for anybody to get in here and see appointments and see images and see patient records. Once you've entered your username and password, you may log into our system. Clicking login will take you to the home page. At the home page, you're presented with the options of a new scan, appointments, or search database. Initially, we're going to go to appointments. Clicking on appointments brings you to the appointment page. At the appointment page, you're presented with a calendar displaying the current month. You can increment the calendar or decrement, see past appointments or future ones, and select which day you want to see the appointments of. On the day of the appointments are displayed here. You can see current appointments, or if you need to, schedule new appointments. Here we're going to go to Stephen Hoffman, and to show you, if you select the appointment from the appointment page, it'll take you to the patient's record. Here we are now back at the home screen to illustrate a different way to access a patient's record. Last time we went to appointments, now we're going to go to search database. In the search database, you can enter a name, last name, patient ID, date of birth, or family doctor. Any of these fields are acceptable. It will find whatever it can based on the information you provide. Here we've entered all fields, and it has found a match of Hoffman Stevens. And here we're going to click choose this patient. Again, this takes you to the patient record. At the patient record page, we have displayed the patient information, name, patient ID, address, and family doctor. Very simple information. Based on feedback we received on iteration 2, it was suggested to us by somebody who worked in the medical industry that it'd be extremely helpful to display a lot more than just this basic information for every single one of the patients. And we tried out various ways of displaying this information on this page, and we couldn't get anything to work without it feeling cluttered and overburdened with just text information. So we implemented this more information icon, in which if you click more information, it takes you to a completely separate page with expanded information on the patient. We have personal information, as emergency contact information, insurance information, and this page is wide open for the possibility of any other necessary information that may be needed for this patient or any other patient. Also at the patient information screen, we have images associated with this patient. And what these are past scans that have been linked to this guy's account. You can click and view any of these images, and here we're going to click 2 images, X-ray. Opening this will take you to the image file on the database. If an image has been retrieved from the database and it's been displayed, you have a few options. You could scroll through the various images that are presented by clicking over here. Over here we have information about the images that were taken, like the image of the date the image was taken on, the date the image was last viewed, and I have 3 notes associated with this image. We introduced this note system based on feedback received on the boards, in saying that it would be incredibly helpful to radiologists and doctors, anybody who views these images, to be able to see past notes that doctors, anybody has made about the images themselves, such as diagnostic information or information relating to the patient. Clicking Add Note will bring up an option to introduce a new note to the system. Notes here, when you click Notes, it brings you to this page, which is just simulating a pop-up which has all the past notes by M. Burns, we're assuming is a radiologist, Dr. Richards, and Dr. Howardson. This is very vital information to anybody who views these images, and you can edit it and add more if you happen to be viewing this at a later time. Clicking this will take the notes away, and you're back to this page. From here, you can return without saving. It had made edits to the notes, or if you click save, it'll save this image with your added notes and just added notes. Let's going to click save and return to the patient page. Also at the patient information page, you have the option for a new scan for this patient, send images, and database. Clicking database will return you to the database screen, in which you can look up this patient again if you so wish, or any other patient. Right now, we're going to continue our scenario in which Stephen Hoffman's appointment was just now, and he's coming for a scan. So it's been navigated to this screen through the appointments page. And from here, we're going to go for new scan for this patient. Clicking new scan for this patient, we're bringing you to this page. This page is very blank, and what this page assumes is that the scanning machine is doing its thing on its end. We didn't imagine that we were going to create an interface to interact with the various scanning machines themselves. And here is just assuming that the scan is going to do its thing and the image is going to be sent to us. So let's just say the image has been done, Stephen Hoffman has been scanned, and we now have an image coming. So right here, scan complete. Click below to review results. And clicking this will bring you to the new scanned image. And here we have it. Scan image is similar to viewing an old image, except here we have the option to cancel, which is just delete the image, or rescan, which would go back and restart the scanning process. You can also add a note, which would start notes on this image, and then save. Clicking save brings you to the patient page with updated image list with the new image added. Here, the last element of our project is send images. If you need to send images, export them for insurance purposes or any other reason, you click send image, and it takes you to this page in which you can choose which images of the patient you're going to send. Here we have one image selected and the DICOM image selected. You click the address you want to send the image to. We're assuming an email address, and we added an authorization code as just a hint that this is not going to be like an open, you can send images to anybody type thing. It has to be authorized by the doctor or by the administration. So we have all this. We have the authorization code sent in. We're going to click send and send the image. And we're going to, here, it's a verification screen in which it shows you the images are going to be sent, all the information that is going to be sent along with the images, and here's confirmation these images and information will be sent. You click confirm, and it's send complete. Click here to return to the patient page.
Okay, for the design process, this is our third iteration. We came to the third iteration by, in our first iteration, we had two different prototypes, and we merged them together for our second prototype. We came up with two different implementations for that prototype, and we picked the best one of that, and we gave it out for feedback. We were able to take the feedback we got for the best second iteration, and we turned it into our third iteration. And that's the one we just got done demoing. And whether we could turn this, if anything's going to change with this prototype during implementation, I think there is the chance for anything to change during implementation. But we've worked on our design so much that we don't think that there would be any major changes in the design, just small, subtle things. And as for our architecture, we used our UI to help guide us through the architecture. It was easier to visualize what we had and to see where we needed, especially for our class diagrams and our use case diagrams. It was easy to say, okay, we need to do this, and this is the stuff we're clicking in our UI, so it helped guide us there. The stuff we were able to use from this class, we were able to take advantage of the user-centric design. We used the personas. We were able to keep going back and checking through our iterations whether they met the needs of our personas. We were able to use the principles of UI design, especially the information system model, showing general data, letting the user get more data if they desire. We're able to use all the IXD principles, especially reducing clutter, the modularity, and everything. And for the architecture, we didn't really use it to design our UI because it came later into the semester. But if we had to start from that route, it might have been a little different. But I think we preferred the way we went, where we were able to come up with a design and that made it easier to come up with the architecture. For the status, we were a little behind with our architecture, but we're not so far behind that it's not going to be completed on time. Most of our designs are done. We just have to generate a little Java code and finish the report, but architecture is right where it needs to be. The main risk for the project success is communication, of course. I think we talked about that in our last presentation. We've been staying in touch. We did lose a team member. We're not sure. We haven't heard from him. And but we've been using our discussion board, the 3 remaining of us, and we've been knocking out this project as we go. If we had to implement this project, would we be able to? Um, it's hard to say. It seems like it would be hard for us because it seems beyond the scope of our programming skills right now. But I think it's more that we don't have a lot of um, UI programming skills. But I'm sure we can knock out the basic architecture of the project if we needed to. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you for watching.